Militant acts are on a scale unlike any we've ever acknowledged before. One of the surprising things to me when I started to research is how long the history of militancy of suffragette militancy is in the UK. We have to go all the way back to 1909 when there's a suffragette meeting in Bristol, and the members there, including Annie Kenney, stand up and they say that the British government should be aware that bombs are being thrown at the Viceroy in India, and that this is a practice that possibly should come to the shores here to persuade the government to give women the vote. Fast forward to 1912, and we have a hatchet being thrown at Asquith in Ireland by 4 British suffragettes who have crossed over from England to Dublin, who throw explosive material into a packed theatre matinee where Asquith is standing to attack the government. And it's really one of the first instances of extreme suffragette violence that we have in the UK. Throughout 1912, 1913 and 1914, these actions increase in scale unlike any the UK had ever witnessed before or has seen since. Now, we've seen terrorist activity in my lifetime and definitely in the preceding centuries, in the 19th and 20th and 21st centuries, but the suffragettes are operating at a level that we've never acknowledged, and the scale is huge. So not only are we seeing chemical attacks, as in there's a plot to release a chemical that irritates your eyes, nose and throat across theatres and music hall in Manchester at the same time on the same day, and they try to ship this chemical in from Europe. And it's discovered and they don't go ahead with it. There is a bomb sent to a post office, one of our big sorting offices here in London, and it includes enough nitroglycerin in it to blow up the entire building and would have killed over 200 people. They put bombs on trains going in and out of London, across the UK at the same time. Now, some of these explode, they decimate third-class carriages, some don't, some are discovered. It's a really uncomfortable part of the suffrage movement that we never acknowledge. And that, I think, has caused us a lot of issues in our society. One of the issues with the scale is that it really is incredible. In 1913, in April and May, we have over 80 attacks of either a bomb or an arson attack. I think the early attacks, or at least the Edwardian attacks, these suffrage attacks, are so new that society doesn't really know how to deal with it. There's a huge amount of frustration, of hatred, much like we feel today towards people who would leave bombs, that come immediately towards the WSPU and the suffragettes who are carrying out these actions. And there is very little support offered for their actions, exactly like we see with radicals today. You know, the suffragettes have no qualms about where they leave bombs. They attack St Paul's, they attack the Bank of England, they leave bombs in the doorways of newspaper offices, in banks, they burn down MPs' houses, they burn down empty mansions. There's even reports of attacks on schools and sanatoriums. I mean, these are actions that we find abhorrent. But something very interesting has happened in our history, in that it's been completely hidden. Almost as if acknowledging this somehow denigrates the entirety of the women's movement. One of the issues that I have with our cultural memory of the women's movement is that the WSPU has become our defining symbol, and actually their reality, their history, is one of extreme violence, which we've forgotten. So the moment you start to expose this extreme violence, you are somehow attacking the suffrage movement as a whole, which is not the case at all.